So then you submit a query. Suppose select start from customer where customer id equal to 60. You want customer 60 row. Then 60 is compared with what, sir? 50. Then go to what? Right side. 60 is greater than 50. Go to right side. 60 is compared with what, sir? 70. Then go to left side. So come to this one. Then, so here this index contains row and return the row from index. It doesn't need to go to the table. How many lookups here? One. But in table, in normal index, then two. One in index, one in table. Here one in only one. That is in index. So the row is there in index. It doesn't need to go to the table. Understood? Then. So tell me, in which order you inserted the rows? In which order you inserted the rows? 10, 80, 40, 60. Yes or no? Then if you run this query, select star from customer, then actually in which order it should display the rows? Huh? In which order it should display the rows? In which order it should display the rows? It display the rows in the same order in which you inserted. In whichever the order you inserted, in the same order it will display. Yes or no? But now see this. If I run this, it is not showing in the same order. My order is 10, 80, 40, 60, but it is showing first 10, 40, 60, 80. Why? Sir, understood. Actually, in whichever the order you insert the data into the table, in the same order it will display. But now it is not displaying the same order. This is the inserted order, but it is not displaying the same order. Why? Because this query is not getting the data from table. This query is getting the data from index. So when you submit this query to SQL server go to index, access all the leaf nodes from left to right. You understood? When you submit this query to SQL server, it go to the index, access all the leaf nodes from left to right. What is this is 10, 40, 60, 80. See that 10, 40, 60, 80. That's all. Understood then. So now that is why it is showing the what data in this order, not inserted order. The data how it is stored in index in that order. Okay, that means this query is not getting the data. It is this query is getting the data from index. Okay, then. So if you write select star from customer, then what? When you submit this query, SQL server goes to what? Index and access what? All the what's it? Access all the leaf nodes from what? Left to right. It goes to index and access all leaf nodes from left to right. Next one. Select star from customer where customer ID equal to 60. Select star from customer where customer ID equal to 60. Then select star from customer where customer ID equal to 60. Then what? When you submit this query, then SQL server go to index. SQL server goes to index and find the what's it? Finds go to index. Find the entry with customer ID 60. Find the entry. Okay. Find the entry with customer ID equal to what? 60 and returns what's that? Row. Returns row from what? Index. So SQL server goes to index and find the entry with customer ID equal to 60 and returns row from index. So once it find this entry, return this row from index. No need to go to table. Okay, then that's all. So this is about what? Cluster index. Okay, now then next. And one point is then only one cluster index is allowed per table. Okay, now like only one what? Only one clustered index allowed per table. SQL server allows only one cluster index per table. Okay, then suppose I declared one cluster index on customer ID. Yes or no? Then let's try to create another cluster index I20. Then customer, what's that? Name. So I'm creating cluster index on customer name. Cannot create what's that? More than one cluster index on table customer. What it is saying? Drop existing cluster index I10 before creating what's that? Another one. So how many cluster indexes allowed per table? Only one. Okay, then understood or not? Then so then because when you submit this query, it go to the cluster index. Yes, when you submit this query, it go to the cluster index. If there are two cluster index, then ambiguity comes. It should go to the first cluster index or second cluster index. Ambiguity comes. That's why it will not allow you to create multiple. Only one, and that too next and so primary key columns. What's that? Okay, na? Then SQL Server implicitly creates what? Cluster index on primary key column. Okay, then SQL Server implicitly creates what? Cluster index on primary key columns. Okay, na? When you declare primary key, implicitly one cluster index is created on primary key column. One second. So like drop table what? Customer. Drop table customer. Create table what? Customer ID integer. Then let's say what? Primary key customer name varchar of what's that? 10. So then you declared primary key. One cluster index is automatically created on what? Customer ID. Now see this SP help what? SP help what's that? Index customer. SP help index customer. See that one cluster index is created. So what type of index is created on primary key column? Clustered plus unique. Clustered plus unique. Clustered plus unique. Okay, then. So one implicitly cluster index is created on primary key columns. Okay, then. So, sir, I insert the data, insert into customer values. Then first one, what's that? ATA. Okay, insert the row. One row created. Next one, what is the next one? 10. 10, what's that? K. 10K. Insert second row. Next one, what's that? 60. Suppose D something. Insert third row. Next one, suppose what's that? 40. Suppose, okay, B. Insert fourth row. I inserted 4 rows. Okay, na? Which order you inserted? First 80. Next one, 10. Next one, 40. The next one, 60. Next one, 40. So, but if you see the table, in table, the automatically data sorted on what? Customer ID 10, 40, 60, 80. But I inserted what's it? First 80, last 40, but first 10, next 40, next 60, next 80. Automatically it is sorted on inserted order is different now, but automatically it is sorting on what's it? Customer ID. Why? Because when you run this query, what I said, it will access the data from left to right. Leaf nodes are accessed from left to right. So that means in tables bus, the data is automatically sorted on primary key column. In table, by default, the data is automatically organized based on what? Primary key column. Why? Because of cluster index. Understood? Automatically, the data sorted on primary key column because of cluster index. Okay, then. So suppose one second. For example, drop table. Drop table what? Customer. Okay, create the table. Customer ID. Customer name is declared as what's it? I'm declaring customer name as primary key. created. Yes. Now insert the data. Insert into customer what's that values 1 comma x. This is first row. I insert this row. Next one. Insert second row. 2 comma what's that 2 comma what, suppose b. Okay, insert second row. Next one, insert third row. 3 comma what 3 comma k. Suppose this is third row. Next one, insert fourth row. Suppose 4 comma what, for example d something. So insert fourth row. Now see the table. So tell me the order. Select star from customer. Which row is displayed first? B. Next one D. Next one K. Next one X. You see that B, D, K, X. So automatically it is sorted based on what? Customer name wise. Why it is automatically arranged based on customer name wise? Because customer name is called, not because of primary key. Customer name is okay na, on customer name one cluster index is created on customer name. Because of that cluster index, the data is automatically sorted based on, because when you run this query, it is not getting the data from table, it is getting the data from cluster index. In cluster index, how the leaf nodes are arranged left to right ascending order. Left to right ascending order. First, which node is there? B. Next one D. Next one K. Next one X. Okay, then understood. Then okay now. Then. That's all. Clear. Then next. Unique columns. What type of index is created? Huh? Unique. Unique column. What type of index is created? Huh? Customer ID is what? Primary key. Suppose customer name, comma, customer what's her phone number, integer. This is what's her unique. Suppose create the table. Drop table what? Already customer table is there. Drop the customer table. Drop it. Now create the table. Customer table is created. Then see the indexes. SP help what's it? SP help what? Index customer. See the table then. So what type of index is created on primary key column? Cluster index. What type of index is created on unique column? Non-cluster. So on primary key columns, it creates what? Cluster index. So unique column, it creates what, sir? Non-cluster index. Okay, then that's all. So this is about what? Cluster indexes. Okay, then. So what is the, like what's the difference? Difference between, okay, na, non-clustered and cluster indexes. Then cluster indexes. What is the one difference? Non-cluster index, then non-cluster indexes stores what? Pointers to actual records. Cluster index stores actual records. Okay, then. And index and table are what's it? Separate objects. But here index and table are what? Table are one. Index and table are not separate. Index and table are one. Next one. So then non-cluster indexes. Okay. Then so here requires what? Requires what, sir? Extra storage. Why? Because table and index are separate. Extra storage. Doesn't need what? Extra storage. Okay. Then fourth one. And how many lookups? Okay, na? Then two lookups. Requires what, sir? Two lookups. Two lookups. Two to access specific row. To access what's that? Specific row. Here two lookups. Here it requires two lookups. One in index, one in table. First index, next table. But here requires how many? Requires only one lookup. Then in index. Index contains row. So doesn't need that. Next one. Fifth one. Okay. Then how many? So how many non-cluster indexes allowed? SQL Server allows how many non-cluster? Allows what's that? 999 non-cluster indexes per table. Allows 999 non-cluster indexes per table. Per table. Allows how many cluster index? Allows only one cluster index per table. Okay. Then and by default it's created on what's that? By default it is created on what? Created on what's that? Unique column. Non-cluster index is created on unique column. And by default it's created on what? Created on primary key column. Okay. Then that's so what are these differences between non-cluster and cluster? Stores what? Pointers to actually card. This stores actually card. Index and table are what? Separate object. Index and table are one. Requires what? Extra storage. Doesn't need extra storage. Requires what? Two lookups to access specific row. Requires only one look. Allows 999 non-cluster indexes per table. Allows only one cluster index. By default, it is created on what? Unique column. By default, it's created on primary key column. That's okay now. Then so this is then next. How to see the what list of what's it? Indexes. What SP what help index table name. Table name is what's it? EMP. Then what it will show? It will show the list of indexes on EMP table. Okay. I1, I2. I1 is created on salary. I2 is created on e-name. I1 is created on salary. I2 is created on e-name. Okay. Then. Okay. Then. So if you drop table, for example, how to dropping what's it? Index. How to drop index. Okay. Then suppose can I say drop index I1, drop index I1. Then so you have to drop like this emp dot I1. You have to specify the table name. Must specify the one for dropping the index. You must specify the table name. Drop index emp dot I1. So drop it. Then how to drop index emp dot I1. Okay. Then so if you drop table, for example, if we drop table, what about indexes created on table? If you drop the table, what about the indexes created on table? What is the answer? Huh? If you drop table, what about indexes created on table? Indexes are also dropped. If you drop the table, indexes are also dropped. Okay, then clear now? Then so here actually remember this. What is server? Inside the server database. Inside the database, what's it? Huh? Tables. Inside the database, what's it? Table. So table contains rows and columns. Table contains what's it? Constraints. Table contains what? Indexes. Table contains what? What? Figures. Table next what? Views. Next what? Synonyms. Next what? sequences. Okay, then so table contains rows and columns